This is for the mama who is working her ass off and she's done everything she's supposed to do, but she is still feeling a hole in her soul. She is still feeling unfulfilled. Something is missing. It's probably because you're not living life in alignment with what your soul is here to do and who you most authentically are. You're not giving yourself the permission. I want to say this is your permission slip. There is not a right way to success or being a good mother or enlightenment or whatever it is you're after. There is only an infinite possibility and roads to get there. Hey, I'm Brooke Jean, therapist, recovering perfectionist, and struggling working mom on a mission to normalize normal. If you're an overwhelmed, high-achieving, and secretly anxious mama, struggling to balance it all and on the brink of burnout, you are in the right place. Here is where we talk about hard things like balancing work and family life, mental health, and how to navigate life-altering transitions. Nothing is too taboo here. In my conversations, I'll teach you how to let go of who you think you're supposed to be in order to create the life you've always wanted. Get ready to embrace your messy, shed the shoulds, and find freedom through a life unperfected. This is the Unperfected Pod. Welcome back to the Unperfected Pod, where we normalize normal and find freedom and so much more in a life unperfected. Welcome back, Mama. Brooke Jean here, your host, and coming to you on freaking New Year's Day. Happy 2024, my love. How are you guys? How are you doing? How does it feel to be entering into the energy of a new year? How was your New Year's Eve? Mine was extraordinarily uneventful. We were asleep by 10 o'clock. I was in my jams. I had a very cozy and quiet and chill and sober evening with my husband and my daughter. And my husband watched the Packers game, and I actually did like a coloring activity, and we just kind of stayed nice and warm and cozy. And it was actually really beautiful. And I woke up at the butt crack of dawn this morning, 5 a.m., and just did the most juicy, like 2-hour long morning ritual. That was an activation with Dr. Andrea Morningstar. If you do not know who she is, I highly recommend you find her on Instagram. She is a huge part of my spiritual and frequency team right now that is helping me level the fuck up. But I watched her Becoming a Wealth Magnet free module that's in her Facebook group, and I did her live activation. And so many beautiful ideas came flooding through, and I just felt so alive, so excited about today, so excited about the year to come, lit up. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, you know that my word for 2024 is alive or aliveness. I'm going to use them both interchangeably. Yeah, that's the word, right? Because my intention is to live so consciously, so awake, so fucking present that every cell in my body is like dancing and jumping and busy co-creating the life of my dreams. And that is what we're going to freaking talk about today, is how do you create a life you, my love, actually want? A life that you actually desire. Because guess what? If you've been following along on this journey, if you've been listening to the podcast since it released in February of last year, you've been unperfecting your life. And what does that look like? Let's recap for a moment. That is look like shedding the shoulds, which basically means looking at the parts of you that are no longer authentic, that are no longer in alignment with who you actually are and what your essence is here to do, and what your fullest and most beautiful and bright expression might be. So shedding the shoulds is really looking at your conditioning and how you've become someone that's maybe not the full expression of who you are because you're just trying to fit in. in the world. You're just trying to be safe. You're just trying to be loved. You're just trying to be accepted. You're just trying to be a good girl, a good mom, and follow the rules. The first thing we have to do is ditch that shit. Say goodbye to the patterning and the conditioning and the beliefs that we've developed because of that conditioning that have determined who we are and what we deserve and what we're capable of in the world. We've been doing that work to identify and uproot those beliefs that are holding us back, that are saying that we're not enough, that we need to be perfect to be valuable, and all of those things. And we're reprogramming beliefs that help us, right? And so the whole like process of unperfecting is letting go. There's like two massive parts to the process, which is A, letting go of who you think you're supposed to be. So who you think you're supposed to be is the ideals, the identities, the patterns, all of this stuff that we've fallen into to create, here's part number two, to create space for the life that you actually love, which is all about living with intention and consciousness and mindfulness and awareness and co-creation and energy and frequency and building a life that's true to you so you can soar, so you can thrive, and so you can feel freaking good while you're doing it. And that is the piece that I'm so excited to weigh in heavily this year, because I have just gone through a major shift in December. If you've been following along, I got really sick. I still don't even have the answers as to what exactly happened, but my stomach, my pancreas, like shit went down, buckled me for a full week, was out of work for 10 days, had every scan and test you can possibly imagine. And I truly believe that it happened for me because it set me on such a different path energetically that I am going to start treating this body like the damn temple that it is. I'm going to start to lean into the feminine side of my divine leadership. I'm going to start to learn more about and practice and embody, or learn more about and in practice embodiment. That's newer to me. And I am going to live with such intentionality. And I'm removing alcohol. I've also removed coffee. I've also removed acidic foods, fattening foods, and spicy foods, because at this point, I'm just afraid to mess with my stomach in any way. But I have set an intention to remove alcohol for the entire year. If you have not already, last week's episode, I got to interview Amanda Kuda, who is a pioneer in the alcohol free space for the high achieving woman who electively choose to live more consciously. And so I've made this conscious decision, and in that, so much is already coming through me. I feel healthier. I feel more alive. I'm getting better sleep. And this is not about trying to convince you to not drink. It's about me inspiring you to connect to the light within you and to bring that light into the world, whether it is to your home, your family, your neighborhood, your community, your work, your team, your mission, your purpose, all of it. Okay. And so this episode is like, you've done some work. You've also embraced your messy, which is your struggle with mental health, which is your struggle with eating or drinking or spending, which is your rage, which is your shadow, which is your maladaptive coping mechanisms that are no longer serving you, which is your shitty relationships, which is you tolerating less than what you deserve in any aspect of your life. Once we actually acknowledge those messy parts that inevitably exist, we all have them. There's no shame in it. But when we face them, we free them, we transmute them, and we rid ourselves of the shame. So once I face the one thing that I know is holding me back from rising into my fullest potential, which is drinking and eating and spending, these subconscious ways that I check out of responsibility because I'm not managing my responsibilities in the healthiest way I can, because I want to numb my body, because I'm not as comfortable being in my body as I thought I was. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not tolerating that anymore because I deserve better. And it's from that energetic that now we get to look at, well, then who the hell am I becoming? How do I want to feel? And what is the life that I want to live? That is on my terms, that I wake up in the morning and go, I'm excited to do that thing, or to be involved in that, or to meet with those people, or to hold my babies, or whatever it is. So today I'm going to give you some steps and some things to think about as you are creating a life that you actually love. So hopefully you've done some of the work around unperfecting and letting go of the ways of being that have kept you stuck in somebody else's life, right? This is for the mama who is working her ass off and she's done everything she's supposed to do. She's gone to college or, gone to trade school and started working and got married and has kids and has the house and has the car and has the vacations and has the 401k and, is on the committee and da, 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 but she is still feeling a hole in her soul. She is still feeling unfulfilled. Something is missing. Something is off. I'm not content. I'm not at ease. I'm not happy. I'm not lit up. It's probably because you're not living life in alignment with what your soul is here to do and who you most authentically are. You're not giving yourself the permission to do it your way, to do it differently. And so, first, I want to say this is your permission slip. There is not a right way to success or being a good mother or enlightenment or whatever it is you're after. There is only an infinite possibility and roads to get there. So you, my love, just because you were born, are here for purpose, are here for a reason, and get to live life on your terms. You were born worthy of all that is available in this beautiful life and world and universe. You were born valuable just because you're here. You don't need to earn it. You don't need to do anything different. You just need to be the most authentic expression of who you are. And so, the first thing that I want to mention is like we have to dream it to be it, right? So, are you spending time in dream mode, in creation mode? And how do we determine who we really are or what we really want in this one precious life? Well, we've got to stop listening to all the signs and signals and cues from other people. We've got to stop comparing. We've got to stop trying to live up to our mother's expectations or our whoever's expectations. And we need to actually turn our attention inward through mindfulness. We need to spend some time with ourselves, decluttering the noise and asking our own intuition, what is it that lights me up? If I have one precious life, how do I want to live it? What is the legacy I want to have? What is the mark I want to make? Who is the person I want to be? And we start to ask those really courageous, bold questions on our meditation mat or on a walk in nature or in the shower, wherever our nervous system is more regulated and our brain waves have slowed down. We start to dream this up. We start to journal it out and we revisit ourselves in that stillness and meditation and mindfulness practice over and over until that desire, that knowing begins to bubble up and become clear. I want to be an author. I want to be a mom who takes their kids on adventures. I want to feel more at ease. I want to travel to Hawaii. I want to leave my partner and find someone who's more in alignment. Whatever it is, it will bubble up. But you see, so many times, so many of us stopped listening to our intuition. We stopped asking ourselves the courageous questions. Why? Because we're afraid of what the answer might hold, and we don't think we deserve or have the capability to go after it. Not in this year in 2024, my loves. Anything is possible for us if we believe it's possible for us. So step number one is you've got to make the effort. You've got to create the space in your daily life to dream a little. Because if we can't dream it, we can't know what it is that we're going after energetically and subconsciously. And so whether it is in your morning ritual or in a midday walk or in an evening ritual, in your Sunday spiritual practice, it doesn't really matter the how. Everybody has different roads and ways of getting there. Mine is that morning ritual is so freaking precious to me. This is where I dream up my biggest visions for myself in my life. I cannot do business without my meditation practice. I cannot see to believe what's possible without getting out in nature, without dancing, without moving my body, without laughing, without connecting with people that I love, without being around other people that inspire me. Those are some of the core tenets to my becoming that I've woven into my world and made practices and dedicated habits and rituals that open me up to receive that guidance, receive that information from my inner guidance system. Okay. If you want to create a life you actually love, you've got to create the space to dream it up in the first damn place. So many people come to me and they want a different outcome. They want a different body. They want a different business. They want to make more money. They want a different marriage. They want better boundaries. They want to feel better so they can do better. But are you really ready and willing to change the way you're spending your time, energy, and sanity to get there? If you're not, nothing changes if nothing changes, my love. I know that's hard to hear, but I say that with so much love and pure intention. You have to be willing to be the person who lives the life that you desire, right? And so, step number 2 is then we need to align energetically with the life that you want to have. So, if you want to have a life that is full of travel, what kind of person lives that life? Okay. What kind of person has what it takes to create that? If you want to live a life that's wildly abundant and successful, well, look at wildly abundant and successful people. Who are they being? Well, they're being intentional. They're being authentic. They're being consistent. They're being dedicated. They're being in alignment. That's what all those things are. They're getting you into alignment, right? So when I'm looking at the life that I want to create, where I am helping a lot of people and it is bringing in abundance, not just for myself and my family, for everyone that comes into contact with me, I have to look at, am I being the kind of person that can be that energetic vibration? Which means I'm an energetic vibration of transformation, hope, love, high frequency shit. Oh my God. If you're watching this on YouTube, the hand gestures that I'm doing because I speak with my hands, I just had fireworks going off behind me, which I'm going to take as affirmation from the universe that you needed to hear this message right now. Okay. Everything is energy. Everything is frequency. We don't need to try harder or do more. We need to align our energy with what it is we want. If we want more love, we need to be more loving. We need to be the signal of love. We need to, number one, love ourselves and muster up all the love that we can possibly feel and embody in ourselves. And then we need to omit that and bring that frequency everywhere we go. We bring that love to our children. We bring that love to our partners. We bring that love to Starbucks. We bring that love to our teams, to our clients, to our programs, to our neighborhoods. We bring that love. Now, don't get me twisted. That doesn't mean we are responsible for others. I'm not responsible for your outcomes. I'm not responsible if you're going to, connect with me energetically and receive the frequency of love. I'm not responsible for your feelings or reactions to me, but I can be responsible for being the frequency of what I desire and being in that signal in all that I do. That also doesn't mean that I'm not allowed to have a bad day because mental health is real. Trauma is real. Oppression is real. There are real things that hold us back, but we need to acknowledge them, face them, work through them, and then get our fanny back into alignment. It's a coming back to, that's what mindfulness is. It's a coming back to the present moment and what's real and what's beautiful and what's enough right here and expanding that goodness and letting that be a ripple into the universe. So once you spend some time determining what you want in your life to move yourself toward the dream life, you have to align energetically with that. I'm going to be teaching you guys a lot more about energetics and frequency and all of that good stuff this year because I am passionate about it. And for the last 8 years, I've been in my purpose and done a lot of things beautifully and differently than I had before I had my spiritual awakening and my trauma healing and all of that. But this year going forward, the way in which I'm going to create the outcomes that I desire is going to be completely frequency first and energy focused. I'm going to learn to lean on my feminine side and I am going to stop overusing my masculine side. because I am drawn more easily to my masculine side of getting things done because that has served me in my life up until this point. That has protected me. That part of me is like, I will get what the frick I want and I will do what it takes at any cost to get there. I love that tenacious part of me and I will carry that gem with me. But the way in which I did it, which tends to burn me out and tends to lead me back into drinking and eating and numbing and spending, I'm going to soften that and I'm going to balance it with more feminine ease and flow and energy. So that way I don't fall into traps of my shitty coping skills anymore. Because the shitty coping skills are what dim my light, what lower my frequency, and what put me into self doubt of what I'm capable of. So because I'm a big girl and I'm deciding yes to my bigger vision of my life, I'm deciding no to that shit that holds me back. But I also need to look at what are my tendencies that help me fall into those old traps. Well, being a perfectionist is a tendency that led me down that road. Forcing and trying so hard to be the best and to achieve more and more and more and more. That has me falling into the old traps. So we're not doing that anymore. Do you see the awareness of that? Do you see the personal responsibility I'm taking? All of that is such beautiful healing tactics that will raise your vibration dramatically. And this is why I believe mental health and emotional wellness completely parallel energetics. And it's not about having the perfect and pristine and healthiest frequency all minutes of every day. It is about this beautiful dance between facing the hard, acknowledging it, working through it, accepting it, and then dancing back into the frequency of love and infinite possibilities and high self worth shit. And we dance between the two. We're not one or the other. We're not stuck in our depression forever. We are not determined our trauma is not determining what we're capable of. We are not staying in low self-worth relationships and contexts and situations. We are facing them because they're real. We are using the tools to work through them. And then we are delicately freaking twirling over to love and what's possible and peace and ease and what it is that you want to create. So number one, we need to claim the space and time to dream up what actually is the dream life. What is a life that I want to live? What are the things I want to be doing? Where are the places I want to be going? And who the hell do I need to be in order to make that happen? And that is a lot right there, my love. Just by saying yes to that work, you lift your vibration. And then number two, we have to align with the frequency of the thing that we desire in our lives. Again, if we want more love, we need to be more loving. We need to bring that loving light everywhere we go. If we want more abundance, we need to be more abundant. We need to soak up where the abundance already exists all around us. If we want more success, we need to be more successful, which means show up consistently and authentically and believe in your damn self, right? If we want more wealth, we need to be in the energetic of wealth and embody wealth. Where do you already have so much richness in your life? In this very moment, I can guarantee that you are rich in love. You are rich in nature. You are rich in connection. You are rich in opportunity. You are rich in goodness because you are golden, my love. So in that case, you are already the signal of wealth. Are you wearing that with pride in everything you do and everywhere you go? Because when you do, watch more of that wealth come in. Watch more of that success come in. Watch more of that love come in. Watch more of that peace and ease and whatever it is that you desire come in. You've got to be the signal. Okay. And you got to believe it. So number three is all around beliefs, right? Kathy Heller, she is one of my coaches and mentors. I have enlisted and invested in several of her programs. I absolutely love her podcast. She shares, I just feel like I am always in alignment with the beautiful messages that she's sharing. And she says, you can have anything in this life that you want so long as you ditch the belief that you can't. Let me say this again because this is something that I really want you to let in. You can have anything you want in this life so long as you're willing to ditch the belief that you can't. And that subconscious belief that you can't is sometimes really sneaky. It's not always obvious, it's not always conscious. But if you deep down believe, I can't be wealthy, I can't have a love like that, I can't travel 3 months out of the year and have a family, I can't have a 6 and 7 figure business while raising children because I was taught that that's too much. Who the hell do I think I am? You have to work hard for that. You can't do that and be a mother, right? There are so many beliefs that we have that are holding us back from actually stepping into what's possible. And this is why I'm constantly teaching about beliefs work. If 90% of our actions, behaviors, thoughts, feelings, patterns, urges, all of it is coming from our subconscious mind, which is where our core beliefs live. You can want love, but if you don't believe you deserve it deep in your subconscious, you are literally negating that. You are a block to your own desire. You are a block to that energetically. If you want wealth, but you deep down believe it's not possible for you because of X, Y, and Z, you are blocking that in the field. You are holding yourself back from taking the aligned action to create that reality and that outcome for you. Do you see what I'm saying? So, all of us, because of the way we grew up, we have beliefs that are holding us back from seeing our own worth and seeing what's possible for us. So you've got to do the work to uproot those old beliefs and to reprogram them. And guess what? We know that we can now with neuroplasticity. I've recorded multiple podcasts on how to do this. Go back and listen to the Reprogramming Your Subconscious Mind podcast that I've recorded. I teach this method inside my talks, inside my programs, inside the membership that we're going to launch. We're going to dive deep into this work because it's like it's New Year's Day. So everyone's going to want like to set their big goals or I want to lose weight. That is like my least favorite one to witness because listen, you can desire to be healthy so you can be the fullest expression of who you are, but you are fucking beautiful at any size. I have been every size you can imagine. I have been sick to death with an eating disorder when I was 14 years old, literally on death's bed. I have been overweight. I've been 205 pounds and I have been everything in between. Okay. And I can tell you, I lost 45 pounds when I was nursing my daughter and I was not any happier. I've recently lost weight. And last year I lost weight because I quit alcohol for 5 months and then I got really intentional and then I got sick and I didn't eat for 10 days. And I can tell you, irregardless of what the scale said, that wasn't the thing that made me happy. Okay. That was not actually the thing that made me happy. It was deeper than that. Okay. So, anyways, people right now, because it's New Year's Day, or I want to lose 10 pounds or 20 pounds or 30 pounds, and they fall off their plan come January 2nd, literally. There's some statistic like 80% of people fall off their New Year's resolution by January 8th, which I think next week I'm going to talk about why intentions are so much more powerful and effective over resolutions. The reason why those statistics are so sad that people set their New Year's resolution, I want to lose weight, and then they fall off by January 8th. They sure as shit fall off by January 30th. Why? Because they didn't clean up the beliefs underneath their intention. You can't just say, okay, I'm going to eat these meals. I'm going to work out every day and I'm going to use my will to force myself to do it because I'm strong. Cool beans. But I'm here to tell you, I tried that method. It only takes you so far. If you don't actually work with your subconscious and you don't work with your energy, none of your goals or resolutions or intentions or dreams and desires are sustainable long term. You have to become someone who believes she's feels good in her body because she freaking deserves it. You have to become someone who believes she is inherently good and can have all that this beautiful world offers. You have to believe that you are someone who is worthy of the relationship, worthy of the physical appearance, worthy of the success, worthy of the abundance. You have to believe you are someone who can hold the responsibility of that next level. And if you don't have beliefs that are fully operating on that, then you're going to hold yourself back. You might take a step forward and take 2 steps back, or take 3 steps forward and take 10 steps back. That's natural and normal. That's human behavior. Don't shame and blame and criticize yourself, but start to do the beliefs work. Start to do the reprogramming of your subconscious beliefs, and start to reprogram beliefs around your deservingness, your worthiness, your enoughness, and see how much easier it is to get where you want to go when you do that deep work. Okay? And then number 4, you need to frickin' take aligned action, right? So if you want this level of success inside your business, you need to claim it. You need to decide. You need to write it down. You need to visualize on it. You need to share it with your friends. You need to, you need to basically dream it up, right? I want this level of success inside my business. Then you need to align energetically with a mother effer who is that level of success, right? Then you need to make sure your beliefs are fully in support of this level of success, which looks like I believe I am worthy of anything is possible. That's one of my mantras. One of my mantras for 2024 is anything is possible for me, because I am inherently good. So number 1 is I am inherently good. Number 2 is anything is possible for me. Anything is possible. And before I moved into I am inherently good, last year my mantra was I deserve to feel good, because I believe that because of my mental health and because of just trauma and self-sabotaging, I would feel like shit a lot of the time. And a lot of it was self-induced. And it was because I believed somewhere deep down that I deserved punishment, that I didn't deserve to feel amazing. Or somewhere deep down, I was afraid of my upper limit of being that successful or to feel that good. Like, that's not what I'm used to. That's not the promise I was sold. So let me self-sabotage and bring myself down. So a stepping stone for me toward this year was I deserve to feel good, because I could get behind that belief. Like, everybody deserves to feel good. Every person deserves to feel good. When you are born, you deserve to feel good. Just by being alive, you deserve to feel good. So I could get behind that. So I worked all last year on reprogramming that belief into I deserve to feel good. And now it's so there. It's so real for me. It's so embodied in me that now I can move towards I am inherently good. I am inherently good. It doesn't matter what I've done in the past. It doesn't matter how I've survived my traumas. It doesn't matter what traumas I've been through. It doesn't matter what stories I've told myself about said traumas and said coping mechanisms. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Even with all of that, I am still inherently good. This is why we have to face our messy. This is why we have to do our healing and our trauma work and our shadow work. We don't just bypass that and say, I'm good. No, I've had to do like 10 years of work to get to a place of like, no, even with my messiest moments, even with the hardest parts of who I am, the parts that I am the most ashamed of, the memories I am most embarrassed by, even with that, I am inherently good. And guess what? So are you. And so we reinforce those beliefs over and over. But then step 4 is we take aligned action from that belief, from that energetic alignment, and in a direction that moves us toward the life that we want to create. So again, using the example of success, if you want to hit some level of success in your business, you have to now show up and take action every day that kicks the ball down the field. You need to schedule your time accordingly. You need to use your energy wisely. You need to protect your sanity and preserve your energy. These are all things that I've been teaching on the podcast. These are all things that I dive deep into in my programs and my containers, right? So if I want success, man, I'm not going to be bleeding out time, energy, and sanity unconsciously. I'm going to wake up and start my day in a way that sets the tone for the day. I'm going to prime my vessel. I'm going to pour into myself. I'm going to schedule my day that allows me to show up for the dreams and desires. And I'm going to do so consistently, even when I don't feel good. I'm going to do so authentically, even when I'm scared. And I'm going to hold myself accountable, and I'm going to enlist an accountability partner, whether that looks like a coach or a friend or a peer or a mastermind or a buddy or a neighbor. And I am going to check in on my progress. And when I fall off, I'm going to show myself grace, and I'm going to get the hell back in the game. I'm not going to self-loathe into nothing land. But I am going to take aligned action. If you go back to the journaling episode that I recorded, I give you guys my journaling practice where every day I write out what I'm manifesting, what my intentions and my big dreams are, and what's coming up or what's holding me back, and then what the hell I'm doing about it today. And I hold myself accountable every single day that I'm taking small action toward that. And it can be the smallest of small action, my love. This doesn't have to be all big banger things. It can be, I'm going to take a minute pause here and there. It can be, I'm going to show myself a little grace instead of self-criticism. It can be, I'm going to make that request at work. It can be, I'm going to say no and set that boundary. It could be one little thing a day. And that is major progress because of marginal gains. Small shifts over time add up to massive life changes. But every day you got to show up for your dreams, honey. They're not going to just land in your lap. That's the thing about manifestation and energy and healing. Yes, there are easier ways that I believe are more feminine focused, but you still have to do the work. You got to show up for your life. You got to claim your dreams and desires. You got to do the work. And you got to be consistent. You can't just sometimes do it and sometimes fall off. I have other practice owners that reach out to me okay, Brooke, how have you gotten to where you are? Where you have a little audience and community, where you have a podcast, where you have, a multiple six-figure business and you have a team and you look lit up. You actually like what you're doing and you do it on your own terms and you're out, working with organizations as your clients and how did you get there? And it's listen, honey, this has taken 8 years and all the bullshit that I went through as a person before that and through that. This is no overnight, outcome. I have to try again and try different. I have to fall off and get back on for years and years. And I'm not saying that to discourage you. I'm saying that to empower you that you're already on the path, my love. You're already doing the work. If you're here, you're on the path. If you're here, you're doing the work. If you're here, you've already taken millions of micro steps into the right direction of your dreams and desires. I'm just helping you and hopefully inspiring you to be even more intentional with it in 2024 and to use more of our feminine gifts to get there. But nothing is easy. You got to show up. You got to take aligned action and you got to do it consistently. Okay? And why? Because you deserve to be someone who shows up for herself. You want to know the fastest way to build confidence? If you're one of those badasses out there that is I have big dreams, but I don't know if I have the confidence to back it up. Well, confidence really comes back to worth and the belief stuff and the trauma and the childhood conditioning and all the things I teach you. However, if you want to boost in immediate confidence, right? If you want to do kind of mid-level work, you got to start setting an intention and showing up and doing the damn thing every day. That is the fastest way to build confidence, is to do what the hell you said you were going to do, right? I said I was going to not drink on New Year's Eve or since December 4th. Do you know how good I feel following that intention? I said that I was going to get up early on New Year's Day and have this beautiful longer morning ritual to prime my energy in my vessel. And then I was going to record a podcast. I'm going to go on a long walk and then I'm going to spend family time. Do you know how good it feels that I'm showing up for that? And I can tell you how many times I have spent not showing up. That doesn't feel good. That feels like shame. Oh, I've done that. And I'm sure there will still be times that I do because we're not expected to be perfect. But I'm saying, if you want to build confidence, do what the hell you say you're going to do. Okay? Go for it. 2024 is I feel like 2023, we had to go through lots of lessons, lots of initiations, lots of uprooting, lots of shit coming to the surface that is no longer serving us, which is hard, which feels like change, which feels like challenge, which feels like trauma. But we went through it, my love. We made it through it. 2024, the energy is like, now go get it, claim it, turn your pain and transmute it into purpose and live with intention because you deserve it and stand rooted and grounded in your worthiness. That's the energy if you're with me for 2024. That's the containers that you're going to get if you're with me on the podcast or on social media or in any of my programs and containers. That's the energy. Are you with me? You need to say yes and claim it right here, right now. And then the final step is protect it. Protect it. Protect your dream, protect your vision, protect your energy, and protect the time and space that you need to show up for yourself, right? And that's hard. That looks like setting boundaries. That looks like disappointing others. That looks like claiming space on your calendar unapologetically. That looks like saying no to things that aren't going to help you get where you want to go, which also looks like maybe disappointing people. How hard is it as a woman in this world to disappoint people or to feel, because you're actually not disappointing, but to feel like you're disappointing someone? That shit is hard for us. Okay. Like I claimed a half of a day on New Year's Day. My daughter is home. My husband is home. And there's a part of me that felt guilt about that. There's a part of me that's like, you should be spending all the time with them. There's a part of me that's like, you should relieve your husband because he's, probably sick of playing and this is his only day off. There's a part of me that all the old conditioning, all the old patterning that's saying, you can't do that. But who I am now is like, you're damn right I can and I will, and watch me. Watch me. Watch me allow that. Because you know why? Because I'm a multifaceted human being that needs all of my tanks to be full. I need my self care. I need my work. I need my family. I need connection. I need play. But if all I do is connect with my family all day and I abandon and disregard the part of me that needed self care, I abandon and disregard my dreams and desires and my purpose, then I am only letting a part of me show up. And nobody benefits from that part of Brooke because it's not the full expression of who I am. And I'm going to get resentful. And when I'm resentful, I get angry. And when I get angry, I tap out with my numbing coping mechanisms. We're not on that loop in 2024, baby. And I love that part of me that did the best she could and just tried and fell into the loop and ran into the fire and self-sabotaged the shit out of herself. I have so much love and respect for that version of me because she's doing the best she could with what she had. But today, this woman who is speaking directly to you, she is leveling the fuck up. She is different. She is more aware. She is more woke. She is more conscious. She is more in alignment. And so she chooses again and she chooses differently. And she's not going to get it right all the time. And she doesn't expect herself to or expect herself to be perfect. But I cannot wait to see what's in store for myself and my family and my business and my dreams and desires when I come at 2024 with this angle that I've taught you today. So let's summarize. Okay. You are deserving of anything that you desire. And the only thing that is holding you back from it is believing that you can have it. And so if you want to create a life that you actually love, not that you were sold as the dream, not that you are told you should be grateful for, not that you think is responsible and safe and secure, but if you want to get busy with me creating a life that you actually love, that you get excited to wake up for and show up for every day, that fills you and fuels you, not depletes you into submission, join me on this journey and start with these steps. Number one, you got to dream it up. You got to slow down. You got to create space to ask yourself the courageous question of who the fuck am I and what do I want in this one precious life? And you need to let the truth bubble up from your intuition. You can do that in stillness, any mindfulness practice, meditation, getting out in nature, the shower, anything where your nervous system is regulated and your brain waves have slowed down. You can clear out the noise of other people's expectations, stop comparing yourself, go inward and start to dream it. Write it down, claim it, Speak it into existence. That's where we need to begin. Number two, you got to align energetically with what it is that you want, with who it is that you need to become in order to create that life. Okay. That dream that you have, that desire is a different frequency than you're currently operating at. So you're going to need to adjust your energy accordingly. You're going to need to level up your frequency. And we do that by being authentic. We do that by healing. We do that by saying yes. We do that by playing, by being in nature, by dancing, by being in music, by being around people that inspire us, by being with our loved ones and looking deep in their eyes, by being fucking present and bringing every single moment to life and expanding in the beauty of it. By saying yes to our dreams and desires. Those are just some of the ways that you can raise your frequency, raise your vibration to align with what it is you're calling in your life. Okay, number three, you need to get your beliefs right, honey. Your beliefs are blocking you from your fullest expression. Your beliefs are blocking you from your dreams and your desires. As Kathy Heller said, you can have anything you want in this life so long as you don't believe you can't have it. As women, we are conditioned to believe that we can't have it all, that we shouldn't want it all, that we should be grateful for what we have, that we should play small and get in our place. Fuck that shit in 2024. No, ma'am. No, thank you. That's not the vibe. That's not the move for us any longer. Then number four, we need to take aligned action, honey. We need to go after that. We need to live with intention. We need to manage our time and our energy and our sanity accordingly. And we need to show up for ourselves and for that vision and for our dreams in small ways every day. We need to hold ourselves accountable. And this is where enlisting in an accountability group or partner, join our membership, join our offerings that we're rolling out this year. They're going to be a container for your transformation, for your becoming, for your creating the life you actually want. And then number five is protect that shit, right? Claim that space, set your boundaries, and do it unapologetically. You deserve to take up space on your calendar. You deserve to have a morning ritual. You deserve to invest in the programs that are going to elevate you. You deserve to say no to things that are no longer in alignment. You deserve to dismantle everything that has held you back up to this point. You need to protect your process, honey. Nobody's going to do it for us. And you deserve to. And if you begin in small ways or big ways or anything in between to start to dabble with this work, watch what begins to unfold. Watch what opportunities begin to fall into your lap. Watch how you feel when you're in alignment, when you're believing in yourself and you're taking aligned action and you're protecting your dreams. And celebrate the shit out of you. Celebrate along the way. Now, this is work that's hard because there's going to be triggers and tests and your old self coming forward. And we need to see it and we need to have awareness around it. And we need to meet it with love and compassion and kindness and grace and choose again. It isn't just as fun as creating a vision board and thinking it's all going to manifest. It's deep work. That's why I, studied psychology. That's why I care about things like the brain and body and the nervous system and psychology and conditioning and all that, because all of those are very real barriers to our biggest dreams. So we dance between doing the work and living with intention toward the dream and toward the life that we want to create, because I want to leave you with today. That's what the unperfecting process is all about. It's about letting go of who you think you're supposed to be, which is the old outdated dream that's no longer lighting you up, that's no longer serving you, so that you can create a life you actually love. And so what I want for all of you listening is that you at least say yes to the permission that you deserve to create a love that you actually love. Happy 2024. I cannot wait to share my journey with you this year. We're going to talk so much about energy and mental health and manifesting and creating the life that you actually desire. And how do we work through all the things that are messy and get in our way along the way, like managing our mental health and trauma and relationships and all that good stuff. But I am so excited to see where all of this takes us. And as I mentioned, I want to let you guys know that I am offering a free live 3-day masterclass all about these things, all about co-creating the life of your dreams, all about frequency and mental health, starting January 28th, 29th, and 30th. So make sure that you connect with me on Instagram at Brooke Jean Unperfected, or get on my mailing list so you can join that free workshop, because that is going to lead us right into the Unperfected Spot, which is the membership that we are going to be offering at the end of January through the entire year of 2024. So we can create a safe container for you to embrace your messy, for you to shed your shoulds, for you to become authentic, for you to co-create the dream life that you've always desired and rightfully so deserved. So make sure you guys are in on all of those beautiful offerings so we can go through this transformation together. I'm sending you so much love this year and always, and I will see you all same time, same place next week. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to the Unperfected Pod. I hope this episode helped you feel a little less alone and a little more inspired to be you. If you like what we're doing here, I would so appreciate that you subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. If you do, share the episode on Instagram and tag me at Brooke Jean Unperfected to enter to win a 1-to-1 laser coaching session. Also, feel free to join me in my private Facebook community, Mommy's Mental Health Matters, where we continue the conversation. Thanks again for being here, and see you in next week's episode.